Subscribe and hit the bell icon and never miss another video. Is it really me dancing there? That film was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And yes, we were doing things and we used to laugh. What are we doing? And this, after signing Qurban, I thought I must know some acting. I must learn some acting. मुझे तो कोई सिखाएगा नहीं. Learn and come and then speak. And then I would say, acting किधर है इसमें? मैं क्या करूँ? I am what I am.
Yeah.
I speak from here. I say what I feel. I don't like to twist my words because I'm not good at it.
Yeah.
I can't twist my words. I can't manipulate myself. Cannot, fake things with the person when you're signing something. Everything fell into place and I think it's lovely times.
Hey guys, my name is Aisha and today I'm going to be having a conversation with somebody who we've grown up watching on the 70mm. I'm in conversation with the very talented Ayesha Jhulka in the house. What's up? Told you. But I want to ask you this. Big fan of your work.
Thank you.
Okay, so that is the first thing I had to say to the camera. The first chance finally happened and you saw yourself on that big screen. Describe the experience.
So the first time I saw myself on screen was in Qurban.
Yeah.
Okay, and the first time was when we had gone to Igatpuri for a songs schedule.
Yeah.
And then we were called to the editing room that you come and see what you've done. And I remember it was somewhere in car.
Okay.
And we went to the editing room and it was just me, my mom probably, and the main ADs and probably few people from the unit.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw that and I was like, is it really me dancing there? And I was only looking at my flaws, to be very honest.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm not looking nice here, I'm not looking nice there. And everybody's telling me, please look at yourself and what are you looking at your flaws for? I said, no, I'm not looking nice. And I did that for years together.
Okay.
I used to always go and do, see my preview or my premiere or any screening that used to happen.
Yeah.
And yes, there were a lot of good parts, but I always felt I could have done better.
Yeah.
Why am I not looking like this? So that was always the case. With me, it still is the case.
Yeah. Too hard on yourself?
Yeah.
Do you think that probably back then being too hard on yourself was also something that probably you needed, or do you think that I should have been a little lenient with myself? Today when you sit back and in retrospect think about it.
No, if I had been lenient, probably I wouldn't have done anything then, I mean, I was like, all the time, it was different now. That time you had to, your hair was one kind. Now when I look at myself and I say, oh, did I really do this? It's even worse. So it's even worse. And I think I should have been harder actually with myself. So
You think you should have been harder? Why?
yeah, I mean, you always feel that you can do better.
You've inspired so many generations. And what, you're 25 now? But
yeah.
Look at the generations you've inspired, the kind of legacy that you've left behind. And like even today when we watch films, I'm like, yaar, and this morning I was thinking this, that there are so many films like Waqt Hamara Hai. I don't know why it's one of those films.
Yeah, I love that film.
It was ahead of its time in
Yes.
so many ways, right? Like
True.
the Kryptonium and
Yes,
all of
I
that
know.
thing, all of it. But even back then when you were approached for it, did you think that, hey, this is really cool, or did you think that, hey, we are just taking a big step ahead?
With Waqt Hamara Hai, it was a different thing. I got that film and apparently Divya Bharati and I were close and she told me that I'm supposed to be doing this film, but I want you to do this film. And she just loved me and so did I. And somehow that film came to me and she used to be on the set lot of times. And so there were different reasons for that film. I don't know why I did that film because I just had to do that film.
Yeah.
It was Sajid and the whole team and Anupam ji and Akshay and Sunil and Mamta and Divya and it was just and a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That film was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And yes, we were doing things and we used to laugh. What are we doing? And this,
So you guys didn't see it coming back then that, hey, this will be one of those cult films?
Somewhere we were very confident because it was Bharat Rangachari and Sajid.
Yeah.
That was the real confidence level that we had.
Yeah.
And I never used to analyze my films that way.
Never.
I used to feel ki I have heard something, I've liked it, I'm doing it, and I better do it with conviction. Jo hoga dekhi jayegi.
Oh, okay. So that was the
in
attitude.
all my films.
But did you ever go through this serious, rigorous training, or you learned on the job?
No, nothing.
Learned on the job.
Well, after signing Qurban, I thought I must know some acting. I must learn some acting. मुझे तो कोई सिखाएगा नहीं. So I went to this Roshan Taneja classes.
Okay.
Just for a month probably. And I had, I think, Pooja there, Bedi, and Reem Kapadia, Mukesh Rishi, all these people were there, part of my batch. And all we did was have fun and listen to Roshan ji and come back and then try practicing whatever homework we were given, and nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
So eventually I gave up.
Eventually we were like listening, piecing out.
Because there were these long dialogues which we had to learn and come and then speak. And then I would say, acting kidhar hai isme? Main kya karu? You know, like, it was different. And honestly, bachchi thi main. I just couldn't understand the seriousness of certain things.
Yeah.
And he was such a lovely tutor who's taught so many, veterans, and I just couldn't learn. But maybe one thing that I learned from there was confidence.
Yeah.
A lot of confidence in public speaking, where you just come out in the open and speak.
Back in the day, one thing that, I as an audience also admired, about actors was when they spoke very openly about things that were happening. Okay. And probably, what was your rapport with your contemporary?
Then and now, both. I am what I am.
Yeah.
I speak from here. I say what I feel. I don't like to twist my words because I'm not good at it.
Yeah.
I can't twist my words. I can't manipulate myself. So I say what I say, and sometimes it's wrong, sometimes it's right. But that's the way I am.
Which is a project that you did back then, which when you were doing it, you were like, okay, acha, we're doing it. Like, I believe in it, let's do it. But then once you released, it blew out of proportion, and how I didn't even know, listen, I didn't see this coming. How did this happen? One project that you remember.
Oh, there could be many projects like that.
For sure.
Where you really make a mistake and you just feel that ये क्यों कर दिया मैंने. I don't remember. Yeah, there was a film called कैसे कैसे लोग. Yeah, कैसे कैसे रिश्ते, something like that.
Okay.
And I don't know why I did it. But I was convinced by my team and paraphernalia around me that yes, this is a good project and you should do it. And I felt I was a total disaster in that. I didn't fit into that. And why am I even on set also? I didn't enjoy anything. And but since it was a commitment, I just had to finish.
Yeah.
And so it was portrayed as a mistake too after it was released. And couple of films I was saved because they didn't release.
Oh.
Yeah, but these mistakes happen.
But when that happens, sorry to cut you, but when that happens, that you worked on a project and it doesn't release, as an actor,
oh, you feel very bad. Because you just don't know. It may have just bombed after release, but at least we would know the fate of it. But here we don't even know the fate of it, and then we anticipate कि ये release होती तो ज़रूर चलती.
Yeah.
So yeah, you do feel. But then apart from what you've done for that project, you've acted, you've done your bit, and then it's not in your hand.
Yeah.
And it is.
That's true. That is so true.
Absolutely gone.
You spoke about, you've done the film. On the edit, there are a lot of things happen. You've been a part of a project back in the day where something happened on your project and you took a call against the director and the producers of it. Today in
Dalal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Today in retrospect, when you think about it, do you think that, the makers should have been very open and upfront?
Absolutely. I took a stand, and I took a very strong stand, and I went to great lengths for that, because I strongly feel that you have to be very transparent, and you cannot, fake things with the person when you're signing something.
It has to be
absolutely transparent and absolutely clear, and then I have to take a call whether I would want to do it or not.
For sure.
So it saves all the trauma and the drama along with it.
Yeah.
But see, I am a strong person, and there are some do's and don'ts in my life, and I've always stuck by it, and I've still been able to achieve. Maybe if those don'ts were do's, I would have achieved more.
Yeah.
But then there's always a maybe, you know. I mean, I don't want to think about. I took my calls absolutely hosho havas mein. It was not gun point pe.
Yeah.
So there are certain things that ethically are not right for me, and they're not right for me.
Which makes sense.
And that was really wrong, and it didn't make me step back because it was a big filmmaker that I was fighting against, or a big director, or a big project. The film was super duper duper hit, but at the same time I had to voice myself because it was wrong.
For sure. No, but more power to you for doing that, because I think like I said, you know, you have inspired generations, because this is what I'm talking about. Back then, you know, you managed to take a stand. Probably today actors may not, because thinking, hey, what may happen to the...
Yeah, but I also had a lot at stake. I mean, a lot of people could have, you know, at that time must have backed out from signing me because I took that stand. But then when people are clear in what they're doing, see, I did 100 films. Now, one film was like that.
Yeah.
And it was a super duper hit film.
Yeah.
But ethically, certain things were wrong. I mean, we patched up later, everything was, you know, came to a sorry and apologies and everything. That's fine. But my point is, why in the first place? Had I known about it and it was clear, even to the media, that there is a body double and there is all this, it would have been fine.
And
there was nothing
wrong.
I found it in a very weird way. I was not called for the screening.
Yeah.
They were hiding it because, and then a journalist, a good friend of mine, called me and said, hey, you know what I saw and came? Do you even know about it? And why weren't you there?
Yeah.
So he helped me finding out more.
Yeah.
And then there were more journalist friends who actually, so actually the press was with me on this because they knew me so well. Yeah. And that's how I found out so many things. Yeah. So there was some investigation happening through the press for me all the time on that product.
No, but today, you know, I think you've seen the changing time of cinema, okay? Right now and back then also. What is that one thing that there's a massive stark difference in cinema today, or the content that we watch today, and probably the content that was created back then?
Back then, it was the best, and now it's the best. So, you know, and tomorrow, whatever will come will be the best. So, times are changing, things are changing. We need to change with time too. And OTT is great because the content is fabulous on this. Yeah. And you can see things that you can't see in movies at times. Also, people like us who are always starving to do something better and something good and something different, this is the platform for us. Yeah. Because no matter what, the films still have, you know, in 2 hours you have to show so much. That's and true. Here in 7 hours you have, 10 hours you have sometimes. Yeah. And so there are possibilities of showing so many people, and there is nothing like this one is more important, that one is more important. Everybody's important because even one character doing one scene and going, you will remember that character because he or she has done something different. Yeah. So it's just beautiful times, I think.
That's true.
And but there is, you know, always a flip side where there's too much happening and too much expectation, and you know, we were into a phase where it was calm, it was light, we were just a handful, and you know, wohi ghum ke projects would come to either this one, that one, this one, and it was roaming around there only, and so that was lovely in itself. For sure. And but this is also very nice. Yeah. And I wouldn't have said this till I went on set and I realized that for an actor like me, nothing has changed in terms of me being on set. Nothing. I was, you know, treated so beautifully, and I just didn't feel, and I had
everybody's favorite. How would something not treat you good? Yeah.
No, I was treated really very, very beautifully on the sets of Hush Hush, and the directors from the films. So probably that was also a good connect. Her debut and my debut on OTT. So. Together, and then the first female director that I worked with. So everything was really everything fell into place, and I think it's lovely times.
Yeah. Do you also think that, you know, like you said, back then, handful of people, script wahi ghoom rahe, okay? Now, of course, there is this plethora of people out there, you know.
So ye minus bhi hai,
for sure.
Because, you know, there's no patience. Yeah. There's no, like, there'll be very few people who will say ki ye role Aisha hi karegi. और कोई कर नहीं सकता। आयशा ने अगर थोड़ा भी बोला मुझे वेट करनी है, मुझे सोचना है, मुझे करना है, immediately goes to, that is absolutely something that I don't like about this, because you know, my reason of doing Hush Hush is because Tanuja had the conviction and she waited and she convinced me and she said nobody else can do this, and that's the reason I really said all out, let's go for it, you know. So a confidence of faith that we have to put into our directors and producers, even they have to put that faith in us, and then it'll work absolutely
it will show the brilliance on the 70mm. But to the same question, that back then, because you know there was no social media, there was no internet, for me, if I had to, for example, see you, the only way I could see you was either I had to stalk you, which is not good, guys, stalk you.
Not good.
Or wait for you to appear on the 70mm. Films were the only way I could see you, and there was very bare minimum I could know about you. But today, if I have to know about any actor, all I have to do is open Instagram and I know what they eat, where they go to work out, everywhere, everything. Okay?
Mine, you wouldn't know that way. Even on Instagram.
That's what I'm saying. No. So, do you think that, you know, there was this different feeling of, you know, probably the era of stars, which probably today you don't have, because actors have become accessible to the general public?
You would know better about this, because I feel that I always say this, that back then we really felt like kings and queens.
Yeah.
You know, it was very rare that you'll see an actor on the road or anywhere, and so whenever we went for any premiere or any kind of social function or gathering, there was a different halla about it.
Yeah.
I don't know how it is now, but yes, a lot is seen. And no matter how much I try, I'm just not able to do that because I'm conditioned that way. My team is very angry about this, but that, you know, but just to give that content कि अब आज हमें इतने सारे reels चाहिए या आज हमें इतना सारा photographs चाहिए, आप ये खाओगे वो करो, मुझसे होता ही नहीं है. सुबह उठ के चाय पीते पीते सोचा आज कर लूँगी, but it never, that hour has not come only till now. I'm pushed and pulled a lot of times, and whatever you can see is because I'm pushed and pulled, but I'm just not able to do it, maybe because someday I will be able to do it. I don't know, but not made that way yet.
Now. If you had to, okay, and this is the last one, if you were to meet the 10-year-old Aisha, okay, what would you tell the 10-year-old Aisha?
I would tell the 10-year-old Aisha that you were very good at what you did then, and you probably took some right decisions and some wrong decisions, but at that time everything was right because you thought everything is right. And but today, where I am, I think if I had that journey and I crossed that journey, and that's the reason why I'm here. So this Aisha in Hush Hush will be very different from that Aisha. That much I can promise. Films and camera has been my absolute love, and I was very troubled when I had to take a step back, and I was never very happy doing that. But unfortunately, had I got something back then which was satisfying me, I would have never ever left the industry in any possible way. And the first reason I got of coming back with my happiness, because at the end of it, I need to be really happy. Everybody needs to be. So I didn't want to do any pressure, work under any pressure, and I didn't have any pressures around me. There was only me, my pressure to myself.
You being hard on yourself. You being hard on yourself.
But now I'm happy because I'm really looking forward to this one, and I'm really looking forward at the reactions of all of you, you know, more than anything else. I've done what I had to do, and everybody's done what they had to do.
And I'm sure that Hush Hush is going to get you even more and bigger opportunities.
Yeah, I'm just waiting because I always feel it's not the length, it's the depth of what you do.
Always, always, always. But keep doing what you're doing. Like I said, you already have a lot of fan following. Added to that, keep killing it, and super excited to see you in Hush Hush.
Yes, me too.
Yay! For Hush Hush.
Thank you. Hush Hush till then.
Hush Hush. But thank you so much. This one is a wrap.